You ever have those markets where you're trading and it just seems like everything you do is just right? It's easy to make money. All the calls you're making, you're just really in sync with the market. Well, today was one of those days. I would have loved a little bit faster market execution on the speed, but nonetheless, we trade the market that we get, not the market that we want. But today was a great example of finding those action points, where to get in, where to get out, and to just gobble up a lot of pips along the way. So hopefully you enjoyed this recording of today's session, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, join our Discord, as we have amazing conversations in the Discord chat that just there to help you get better as a trader. So again, I hope you enjoy the recording, and we will see you guys in the morning. Jeremy, I threw a buy on just real. Let's see if it works out. If it works out, you're teaching the rest of the night, day. All right. So yeah, that's a good question. Who's buying right now? Who is buying and who is selling? So Bob says he's buying. Who's looking for sells? Who's hunting for buys? And that's the question.
I have both on.
Okay. Lee's going for both. What did you say, Cliff? Sorry.
I got 3 buys, 3 sells.
Okay, so you're doing this thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on?
A little bit of both. Yep.
It just ran up and left my sells.
So, what do you guys think? What's your bias? So we got some buys, we got some sells. This is kind of what I'm looking at, but like right here is kind of a range that it's been trying to be in a little bit. I would probably draw that a little tighter, but yeah, this range right here.
Yeah, I don't know what the market is doing now.
It's trying to kind of stay in this price range, I would say. And so with that, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not going to tell you guys what buying or selling, but I'm going to tell you that these are the kind of the points that you should be very cognizant of. And these are the points right here that if you're trading, you find yourself in these areas right here in the blue. These are your light areas, and you're looking for a ride the wave into that. Okay, so anything that's not in the blue, I would say just kind of normal trading and take advantage of the up and down movement, right? Look for buys, look for sells, and just normal trade. Let's wobble. That's what I would say. That's what I would do. Now, going back to the 1, now we kind of know that on the 5, going back to the 1, where are we at in relation to price cycle? If we're in a channel on a 1 or a trend that's forming. And honestly, over here on the 1, you can kind of see that it does have a little bit of a channel going, but and it's been doing this for a little bit of time, where you got the up, change the color. You got the up, the down, the up, the down, hitting it, the up, the down. And then, so I would imagine it would come back down and touch this channel right here, and then correlate that with maybe an action point, is where you got this right here, or you have this one as well. And so you could easily see it kind of go down to this point here, back up, back down, back up, down, and run to that point. Where this theory breaks down, it's the other thing you need to know, is where this theory breaks down is if it fails to create another low. So if this fails and it creates a higher high, so it trades above this, not necessarily above this, because it could come above this and then still turn, but probably if it starts to trade above this, that's when this gets broken. And so you just got to know that. And so if you're trading the ups and down movement. Now, somebody's getting blown up on.
I think I thought it was Jack Smith.
All right. So, I've got background noise in my earbuds. I'm just going to see this real quick. If I mute it, I mute you guys. There we go. All right. Josh is now teaching class. Or not Josh, but sorry, it wasn't Josh. It was Jared. He told me to buy. But yeah, you're right. I am thinking sell right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get in. So another thing I didn't check is the price cycles. And also I looked yesterday, but I don't remember. I don't think there's any real big news events that are happening today. Was that confirmed, you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty much dead all week till Friday in PMI.
All right. Yeah, I didn't see anything that was like, you need to focus on that. All right.
7:30 today before 7:30 p.m., which is what? 5:30 p.m. where you are?
Tonight, there's news.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Is it Asian or is it Australian?
GDP.
Oh.
Quarter over quarter.
All right, so we're in, hey, this is all normal trading. So this is normal trading. So I'm going to look for just opportunities to get rich quick because that's how we trade. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Pops?
Yeah, right.
All right. Like helicopter head. Sweet. Let's go for it. Go, what is it? Go broke or go home or go home broke? Fill this off. Just look for recycle here. Just out of curiosity, if you guys don't mind, those of you guys who are on the call today, if you could put down what level of maybe like if you know what, if you're in the wobble, if you do the wobble technique, give me what level of a wobbler you are. And if you don't wobble, give me what kind of trader you would classify yourself, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Because I think I'm going to align a challenge with what the majority is, where they're at today. I was thinking about that yesterday. I love cool.
I'm just getting out of level 1. I can identify price cycle bias and trend. So I think I'm at level 2. I can do some fixing.
Bob is struggling too. And, hey, Bob, that's okay. 12 more days and you'll get your first chip.
Partridge in a pear tree.
2.5. Nice clip. All right. So it looks like we don't have a lot of ones, but mainly we got a lot of twos.
Level 2 for me.
All right. Then that's it. We're going to do a challenge today. It's a level 2 challenge. All right. Just kind of looking to get into a good layer here. Going to move the needle a little bit. Thanks, Josh. Guess we're not going to do a challenge after all. Josh ruined it for everybody. I did forget, but I have an alarm that helps me not to forget.
Yeah, my alarm just went off.
All the days run together when you start trading. All right. So I don't really necessarily need to do this yet because hasn't crossed over this, but one of the things that you guys could do if you're in a position size that you need to take back some trades, you could do what I just did, and this should be break even when it comes down and gives you that first retracement of the breakout, because it's probably going to come down and touch this, and I give myself the luxury of sitting and waiting to see if it's going to break through and come down, or I could get out at a break even situation right now. And this is one of my high probability trade setups. As long as there's 2 pips to be had, comes down and touches this right there. I love the first retracement of a breakout. But usually it materializes a little quicker than this. And when it doesn't pull back that quick, usually lends to a continuation of the test. It's slow. It's slow as molasses. Here I'm into break even right now, so I could take them for break even, which I might do just because of the action of the candle. So I think I will, just because it's just kind of struggling to. Doesn't feel like it's going to break lower before it comes up and test the top. So with that, I'll go buy it. And then it does it. That's okay. Still buying. Just picking up pips and picking them up, put them down. So, well, I think I'll wait till the Walla crew to tell you guys some good news. So that's a hook right there. Stay tuned for the WobbleNet crew. Dot, dot, dot.
You just want participation. You just want to carry our participation to that next group.
Yes, because you guys are participating so well today.
Yeah.
You know what I saw yesterday or 2 days ago? Maybe it was over the weekend. That I see we have Nick S and we have Nick Kovash, and there was another Nick that joined the Discord group, and I was like, "Oh no, can't do 3 Nicks." Yeah, Nick squared. What are we gonna do with 3
Nick cubed. This is going to be amazing.
That's the next league name right there.
Yeah, Nick the Knicks. A picnic and a picnic. I got it. The Knicks. Oh, yeah. There you go. Love it. Like the New York Knicks. All right, guys. You guys are too quiet. Being quiet doesn't make it fun to trade. Chat, say something.
Hello.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm learning is that I'm psyching myself out by looking at the longer term charts. If I look at the daily chart, my bias is short because we've ran up so far and I'm waiting for the turn. But here we are buying. So I noticed that about myself with my trading.
Well, it does depend on the question I would ask you is what information are you looking for on the daily chart? That's what I'd ask you. Like why are you looking at the daily chart? And I'm not asking that as like a legit question. Like why are you looking at the daily chart to get what information from it?
I think it's because there's been so many years trading with Sean, and we'd always start out on the daily chart to find our bias for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I kind of always expect the move to come from that long-term bias. Yeah, daily, just exactly what Duke says, daily levels and for reversals.
So could you not find that on the 5 minute? Does the information correlate over? Like how many days of information do you need?
Sometimes on the 5 minutes, it doesn't go back far enough. It'll correlate for the daily an hour, but then on the 5 minute.
I guess you're right. If you don't have, like if you have 100 bars, but I give myself 1,000 bars, right?
I have the max at 2,500.
I think it only goes 1,000. No.
I usually look at the hour because I'm going to be trading an hour or 2 or 3.
I'm not telling you guys that you're right or you're wrong. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying it's okay to do that, but that's what I kind of give myself to is I look at the daily or the hourly or whatever, but I look at it on the 5 minute chart. The only time I go higher up is when I don't have the data to the left, right? Is when you don't have this data. But if you look back, on the 5 minute, this is today's and this is November 30th data. So you have, 7 days of data on this chart right here. And so that gives me my daily, my hourly, all that stuff just at a more of a condensed view, right? I mean, if you go to the daily, you can see a longer term trend for sure, Jeremy. But how does that help you if you're only going to be trading, you're scalping, right? And so here's the daily, obviously. Oh, look, it's been going down since 1.22, but that doesn't necessarily help you if you're just going to be scalping and taking, we're looking for moves on the 1 minute, right? Because even though Sean looks at, longer term time frames, he's always buying and selling inside the one, right? So I don't really say that that's a bad thing, Nick, that you're looking at longer term. I would just say, what information are you getting from it? And then how is that helping you in your trades, or is it distracting you from trades?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's definitely distracting. You're right. I can see all the information on the 5 minute. I seem to have a tendency to zoom in and kind of get analysis paralysis because I am a
When you do that,
person.
The market's totally different than doing that, right? So when you look at it like that, that's why I usually leave the 5 alone, and I get all my analysis of the market on the 5, and I don't usually widen the 1 out because it looks totally different than the 5, right? And I keep this in for my entries and my exits. I use this just for when to get in, when to get out. And then I come over here, although I did use this channel off the 1, but it's the same channel that's forming on the 5, right? Just having to zoom in and see that off the 1 minute. But that's how I do it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's what works for you. This is not you need to do it because you're taught this way of how to read charts and how to determine bias. There's so many. That is the most difficult thing to do. Or I can teach you where the action points are. I can teach you support and resistance, but every single person looks at the market differently. Every single person analyzes the market differently, right? And to me, that's what makes trading so awesome, is because there isn't just one way to do it. I mean, I was talking with Bob yesterday, and we were going through his trades a little bit, and he was buying when I was selling, but it was a market that you could make money on both sides, and it doesn't really matter. And he just viewed the market differently than I did. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's not. It's just how you view the market. So I would say to you, Nick, that going back to what information are you getting that you feel that is not conducive to, or maybe you want to change? Does that make sense? That's the next step, is like, okay, I'm doing this and I feel like it's wrong, but then analyzing why it's wrong and then correcting it. Because you can still look at the daily chart and still grab your analysis and do everything the way that Sean does it. But maybe there's something that you're getting that's influencing you. Like you just told me, you were influenced to sell, but we're buying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would have totally missed all these buy opportunities because I would be totally focused on that, what I think would be the sell bias. And the thing is, there isn't any confirmation on the daily chart. So it's definitely a distraction for me. So I would have missed all these buy opportunities.
All this right here, where it's kind of coming up and down, up and down.
Yeah, the last few turns, the few price cycles we've had.
Yeah, should have got up there. It's okay. I'm trying, looking for and this is more of if you were a level 1, I don't know what you are, but if you were a level 1, I would probably tell you to look for sells. Why? To look for sell opportunities only. Why is that?
They've got a head and shoulder for me.
Well, no, if you were a level 1 just starting out trading, I would tell you to only look for sell opportunities in this market today. Why is that? Anybody know?
Because the trend is down?
They're easier to fix than the buys.
Yes, and all of that, right? All of that. So it's because the trend is your friend, right? And so if you see that you're in a downtrend over a long period of time, then yeah, take the trend, right? Because now for right here, I gotta because I didn't get out right here, and I should have. I got to fix this. Now my get out of trades has just moved to right here. And so I need to put enough trades on to fix this. And I don't really want to be fixing trades all day long. And so I'd look for it to kind of come up here, touch this, and then I'd probably get into some sells off of that. But as a level 1, you should just be focusing on playing the direction of the trend, all that kind of stuff. And then as a level 2, you look for opportunities. Like for me, this is what I love, is the up and down movement of the price cycles and taking opportunities on both sides, right? Buying, selling, buying, selling. And we're still in a downtrend. We're not in a consolidation pattern where it's going straight, where it's going sideways. And so the trend is down. So it's more likely going to have larger price cycles going down than you do going up, right? So your price cycle is 5 up, well, that's 9 down. You could say this was 7 and 5. And so your opportunity on the sells to make more money or to get out of trades easier on the sells because the price cycles are larger. You see that? I'm not saying that it's not there. And so we have an up price cycle of 6. And we're at the end of this price cycle. We should get an up price cycle of 6, capitalize on that, and then get into a sell. And that's why I'm saying that right there where that red is, it's kind of where now my break even point is. And if it drops below this, then my break even point comes to here. And if it starts trading below that, my break even point comes to there. And that's the way that I trade. But that's me. Again, everybody views the market differently. Everybody has their own style, and the techniques that I'm teaching you or that we learn, like this technique, like here, if you're on the wrong side of a trading move, right here's your break even, right here's your break even. And if you don't take it, you could get yourself into trouble. Meaning, like if it comes up here and it stalls, there's a good chance it could come back, break this, and run, right? If it doesn't come back here, it comes down into here. So that's why I'm not trading right now, because it did break. So if it comes down into here, I want to be able to fix all of my trades when it comes to this point and get out. Because now we're into a situation where it's a 1, 2 price cycles. And so where's it going to turn? Where's the next turn? Where's the next turn point? And it could run all the way down to here, which is, another 1.5 pips before it turns. And so that's why I would wait and to buy in and get a little bit more aggressive. Now I don't have a ton of, I'm still good on my positions. So I'm waiting for this turn to happen. Who's attending the boot camp next week? Who's doing that? It's the first of its kind, and it's only going to happen in the Christmas time. Nice. Jared, Robin.
He was talking about a lot of psychological issues y'all be dealing with, which I think I've got a few of those problems. Insert joke here.
Is that what we're going to be doing? We're going to, okay, everybody, we lie down on your couch.
Some jokes hide real pain, Joshua.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny because it's true.
Real financial pain.
love it. Because I don't have enough on to cover some of these losses. I'm going to look to see what my action here is. Probably just going to take it and then look to get into some cells, building into cells for a possible right here, 5 pips. Now I got to make up about 90 pips that I just took off. There's these chats. Like Joseph, level 0 does not count. You're not level 0. You're good enough. You're smart enough. I gotta love the markets that just move at a slower pace. It's like you can complain that they're moving really fast, and you can complain that they're moving really slow. But sometimes I like the methodical markets for sure. Lately, I've been trading. Like last night, I traded during I was working on some videos as well as had the. That's why I have multiple monitors, because I was editing some videos, had trades on another one, and then had Monday Night Football on another one. So I was.
So
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt. Just Samsung came out with this monitor. It's stupidly sized. I ended up getting it, but you can break it into 6 different monitors.
Ooh, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
So you were giving you were hazing Cliff about his 4 monitors, and you have 6.
No, I have 1.
Yeah, no, you have 6. You just said.
But it can break into 6.
Exactly.
And you can run the PlayStation on one of them while you're trading.
There you go.
Not that that's ever happened.
No. That's what every work at home person needs, right? If you work at home, PlayStation on one and do your work on another.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble
in a Zoom meeting, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Get right on that.
Up, down, left, right.
You just got to make sure you mute yourself when you're calling somebody out online. Who do we have a lot of people here that work at home? We do a lot of work at home. Like my commute is upstairs to downstairs. That's my commute.
Yeah, I do. I work at home full time.
17 years working at home. I mean, I never did until obviously COVID, right? I was always in the office every day. But I love it. And you see, you guys are my human connection to the world still.
That explains a lot.
Hey.
All I know is Ernest laughed on that one.
How'd you know it was him that was laughing? He has one of those laughs that I know.
There was some history in that laugh. Some inside joke in his head.
Missed that one. Man, that was a good little run up. It just kind of said 2 pips down. Yeah, I'm going to match that. Or 2 price cycles up, down. I'm going to match that with 2 price cycles up. Usually don't get a lot of V trading, but that was good. Good enough for me. Got me into some good positions. Yeah, I go into the office every once in a while, and every Tuesday I go in, and Sean and I have a meeting, and it's like, yeah, everybody's working from home except for Sean. He's like, well, you got this big office all to yourself. It's like, I know, I wish people would join me. He's on his computer and in his office, but I think he does that so he can get some work done. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to work at home if you got a lot of distractions. That's for sure.
This is almost like one of those markets you want to take profit. It just eats one way, eats the other way.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like I was just going to start just putting on like a 2 pipper and just start running that. Because I was just having the same thought, but nice call. Good call. All right, coming into an action point here. That's good. Hobble wobble. It's a good thought. Trying to catch, yeah. It's like, I don't think you're trying to catch runs per se, but definitely price cycles and action points, right? So I think I'm going to start doing that. Just taking some profit. It's kind of harder to do that in Alveo where you gotta put, like, I want to have all these and take them here, but then like I gotta just peel them off manually to do that. Where if I had to take profit, which like now, it would do that. Just start peeling profits, putting them in the bank. Peel and pop, pop and peel. Yeah, you can do that. It takes just as long to use Magneto to put a check mark on all these trades as it does just to hit the X on all of them and close them out. All right, there's my action point for that. And then take these guys and then just go looking for some poppage. This will probably be good. I was gonna do a challenge today of like a where to take profit challenge. So because we're not going to be able to do a challenge today, we'll just kind of go into that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But making sure that when you do take profit, where, right? Where do you take profit at? And because that's more of like a level 1.5 to 2 technique, is just making sure that if you are trading with zero take profits, to make sure you're still taking profit, right? And this is a great market for that challenge for sure, because it gives you clear identification points to do that on buys and sells. So case in point, if I were to get into a trade, this would be my take profit on buys. This would be my take profit on sells, because they're the action points, right? And if you're looking for little tiny wins, this is an action point. Now, without a take profit, you obviously read that action point. If it stalls, then it goes to the next one. This is an action point. This is your next one. This is an action point. So just kind of show you guys that really quick. So I would get in a sell, make sure that this is enough. Yep, that's enough for 2 pips right there. So if it comes down, I can get out right there. But if the action point says I'm going to blow past it, then I stay in for the next ride. So here's the stall. Stalling. Oh, blew past it. So blew past it and then stopped and then stalled. So now just get out there, right? And that's where you get out. And then going back the other way. And start building in. Now this is your action point at the top, which is right here. That's your action point right there. If you're buying and it keeps continuing to come down, just keep continuing to buy. One of the things that might be confusing to some of you guys is, and I've talked about this a little bit, but you're probably like, hey, it crossed over. Why aren't you selling? Right? Why aren't you selling to the bottom of that? For me, I like to get into trades early and wait for that turn and get in on the turn. And so, what if the market's coming down like this and you start buying, eventually I'm going to hit the bottom of this turn. And so when it turns and comes up, I'm able to get into to win on all these trades. And if my action point is here, then I'm able to take the profit here, right? But you could have just stayed into sells and not stayed in, but started selling, but you just don't know where that turn is. If you don't know that this is going to turn into a 2 price cycle or 3 price cycle. And so I just continue to buy in, and the larger it gives me, the more opportunity I generally get to make profits, because you do get a heavier on each layer stack. So it came down and kind of touched that right there. So we'll see if it does break down here. I'm flipping this and sells. If it breaks this, we're right down to the bottom. I'm going to. I'm just hoping it'll give me a price cycle up before it does that, which I'm pretty sure it will. All right. So just as I'm talking about take profits, this is a bad place to have a take profit. The best place would be right below here. But if it's not giving you enough money, then you move those up to right there. But it was too slow to do that because that would have been a better place to take profits. Here's the action point for these trades right there. See, okay, kind of blew past that action point right there. This is the other action point here. And then there's one more right up there. If it doesn't cross that, then that's a good place to take. Yeah, kind of early in the candle still. Hold. That was a long stall. So maybe just start going back the other way. And trade with the take profit so you guys can start to see where the action points are. And I'll try to start putting them in to where this layer's action point or is where you should be having proper take profit conversations with yourself. Ooh. 10 minutes, 10 more minutes.
You ever hit the red X and it yeets away in the wrong direction? So instead of taking a profit, you take a loss.
Is that like putting a buy on when you should have put a sell on?
No, like you're trying to hit that X and it's not registering. So you're clicking like 5 times on that big X. And then the little bar goes, oh, we're just going to go away for the second that your X activates and you're going to take a little loss today.
Yeah. Maybe it's like trying to take a small win, but then it pops back to loss.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen to me. I don't know what you're talking about. It's never. Josh, you need to lay down.
It burns me up.
You need to lie down.
It also goes the opposite direction. You get times
definitely
good luck and more.
This definitely is a personal issue, Josh. Nobody else experiences that.
This is why Apiary thinks I have psychological issues.
Let me cool your anxiety. You gotta notice it, but half the time it improves and goes deeper into the green, but you don't notice it so much. Because slippage goes both ways. Think of all the times that like you closed it and then it went, oh, a little more profit.
No. Those are good. Those don't create
those don't create issues at all. I have no issues with that. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Right. You're ignoring all the times that it goes in your favor.
Exactly. That's the beautiful part about being a bad trader. You ignore all the
good, and then you're like, I always
See, y'all totally get me.
Yes. It's about being a narcissistic trader. I don't do anything bad.
Always notice when it goes in your favor and you get extra green because
exactly
you're ignoring that part.
No, this is something that you guys have never done. I bet you that nobody has ever done this before. That when I sometimes let you guys share your screen and I'm trading and I'm looking at your guys' screen, I think it's my screen, and I try to close out on my trades, and I touch you can't close out on a video.
I think we've seen you do that. There'll be these dots, and I'm like, what are you dotting?
You can't close out on a video. Doesn't work. I've made it audible once, but I've done that a few times. I'm like, oh, that's not my screen. Yeah, I got to go to my screen and close out the trades.
I've done it watching you or Sean or somebody else. I'll have you on one monitor and my trading on another, but they're both AUIO, so they look the same.
Yeah,
and I'll be clicking the other one, and the chat box pops up or some other mess, and I'm like, why can't I trade?
I do that. I duplicate my screen, and then I have a recording And I'm clicking on the recording.
And you're like, why isn't it working? All right, so here, I'm going to go a little light on the reverse just because we got kind of a double test and it could break down. I do expect it to come down to here at least. So I'm just going to tread light on a pullback of a buy, but I'd like to get that pullback to jump in before it happens. And this probably will take off and take profit just because I want to see if I can't ride it through this break of the bottom. This is like the second test. And again, it kind of broke through, come down. We'll see if it gives us a little bit of a pullback, and it doesn't. I called it, but didn't trade it. It's not hindsight, Josh.
No, that candle's still forming, dude.
It's true. But I'll play this pullback right here. No, Joseph caught it for me. Thanks. 102 pips. Wow, off that move? That's awesome. How'd you do that? Teach me that. That's awesome, though. Good job. Okay, candle. 3, 2, 1, take it.
Speaking of psychology, I was watching something about the idea of revenge trading, and that idea always makes me giggle because I think, like, who are you trying to get revenge against?
The market. It's always the market. The market is the bully.
The market is like an evil demon.
So are you saying that you don't, that you've never thought to yourself that's revenge trading? I mean, that's.
I always read the market is just a giant abstract entity.
I love that. I mean,
like
I wish I had that mind
against the ocean or the Earth's crust.
I wish I looked at it that way. But the fact of the matter is, I know that there's people that you say you laugh at that concept.
I giggle and I roll my eyes. I don't know.
Right, because you don't view it that way. But it's a real thing. Like for me, I had to fight through it. I mean, if Cool is on, he would tell you about that, right? Because that's his weakness right now, and I keep telling him that. His weakness is he revenge trades, and that it's a real thing. And it's like, I just lost X, so I got to get it back. And and call it revenge trade or call it fixing your trades with aggression.
Right. Yeah. Or like trying to get something back with fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you try to get aggressive in the moment.
It's fixing your trades with aggression, right? And sometimes, and a lot of times, that just compounds the bad situation, right?
That's one thing. But like the idea of revenge trading always makes me giggle. It's like, if the ocean hits you with a wave, do you?
No. There's some people will punch the ocean if it knocks them over. I've seen
exactly. Yeah.
Stupid ocean.
I will have my revenge against the ocean.
All right,
hit me with a wave. I will take my vengeance.
Who are you, Poseidon?
There is a story about like ancient.
See, Hobble Wobble says he's an ocean puncher. See, we found him.
Yeah,
and then you punch the ocean, and it's a jellyfish.
It's a jellyfish,
and it makes it worse. Makes the situation worse. It just compounds it.
Just makes it worse. If a shark attacks you, poke it in the eye with your thumb.
Yes, I will revenge attack a shark.
Yeah, that deters them because they can't protect their eyes.
Anybody else a scuba diver? I know Cool is, and I am. Anybody else?
I don't know. I don't see myself sticking my hand anywhere near the shark's mouth.
Well,
you got to go around that, dude.
You poke it in the eye and then it'll run away because it can't protect its eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's that mouth. It's in front of its eye.
Yeah. The helicopter, Tammy, awesome. So we have a few people. I'm going to tell this story on the other side. But the best defense against a shark is a GoPro. Because if they come up to you and they're getting a little too close, you stick a GoPro at them and you can push them away with a GoPro. And I'd rather use a GoPro on a stick than your hand.
So basically a stick.
Yeah, but
Man, best weapon.
but you're not carrying a stick, and you're not carrying a stick, and you're not carrying a long stick in the ocean just to poke sharks.
I'm not really carrying a GoPro either. I'm just doing everything I can do to not drown.
And that's why you have oxygen tanks.
Oh, we were swimming with beluga whales.
Ooh, that would be
and
awesome.
had the GoPro out, and the beluga came up and ate the GoPro. So we have this
No GoPro.
15 seconds of black, and he decided it didn't taste good, and he spit it out. It's hysterical. It looks like
you recovered it? That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Is that footage on YouTube? You got to put that on YouTube somewhere.
You got to
I'll
post
see if
that.
I can find it. We didn't.
Oh my
post
gosh,
that, but
that would be awesome.
you're in an 8mm wetsuit, the hoodie, the gloves, the boots, and everything. And here comes this beluga. They are really gregarious and very friendly, but it was hysterical.
Joseph, I'm
you
going to
got
ask
1 minute, David.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question on the other side. I'm going to switch, but I want to know about that story. So let's switch over to Wobble. This Weeble Wobble. Hope to see you guys there. We'll jump over there. What a great session. We had to end it a little bit early because I had to go into another trading room and trade with those people over there. However, we ended the day absolutely positive, and I wanted just to kind of give a quick recap or review of what we did today. And as you look, we kind of traded in this channel off the 1 minute chart a little bit. And so what we're looking for is just some back and forth movement of what we got all day long. Got this back and forth movement as it kind of ran down, ran up. And we just traded this channel. It was a nice channel to just pull out 1% in the market today. Now I started the market around 3% into the day, up 4% on the daily return for me. And I'm good with that. I'm absolutely 100% good with that. Don't need to trade it anymore. As long as we can move in the right direction and be positive day after day after day, then we are moving into hitting our goal of turning a $5,000 account into a $50,000 account. And that's our goal. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this session. It was a great session to kind of pinpoint exactly where the action points were in the market. And we had a fun time doing it. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and find us on Discord. Thanks, and we'll see you guys in the morning.